Hey, welcome back into Average Home Theater. I am Nelson, and once again in the studio / Average Home Theater is
Dominic. Yes. I've returned to the Average Home Theater.
Yes, this prestigious yeah, okay. It's just a bedroom. So we decided to review probably the greatest movie ever made. And it's from 1986. Stephen King's Maximum Overdrive. This is the only movie that Stephen King has ever directed.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that?
You had mentioned that to me, and then I did a little bit of research, and I saw that. And
so he did an interview, and he said the reason he did this movie was because he was tired of people kind of messing up, not doing a good job with his stories.
Right.
And then they asked him, well, why haven't you done any other since? And he said, well, watch Maximum Overdrive. So that should tell you for what kind of treat you're in for whenever you watch this movie. Now, we're going to assume that people who are watching this episode have seen the movie, and we're just going to kind of break it down. It's full of spoilers. So if you haven't watched this and you want to watch it, then don't watch our show here until you've watched the movie, and then come back and have a good time with us.
Come back. Like you did for Cujo.
Right, exactly, man. People keep watching that. It's amazing. I don't know why. It's like one of the most watched videos on this channel.
Yeah,
it's Cujo.
Cujo.
From Dusk Till Dawn
did pretty good too.
But Cujo, for some reason, it's always one of the most watched episodes.
Well, hopefully this one's up there with those. I think this will get up there.
I think so. This is going to be fun. Okay, so this movie gets a 14% Rotten Tomato score. But it gets a 50% audience score. So, it has that cult following. It has that,
right.
Kind of like people like me that have this just special place in our heart for it. Because even though the movie is technically not very good, it's just, we have a love for it. We grew up on it, and it has a charm to it.
Right.
And it's just a lot of fun. There's no doubt that Stephen King was on mind-altering drugs whenever he made this. Apparently he said something to the effect he did so much cocaine that he doesn't even really remember much about directing this.
Wow.
So so the movie starts out, it says June 19th, 1987, the Rhea M comet, Rhea, R-H-E-A-M comet, the Earth passed through its tail, and it started to cause machines to come alive, and we were going to be stuck in the tail of this comet for 8 days.
And you know what? To its credit, I don't mind that.
Right?
Like,
oh yeah, I don't mind.
Because
if you read Stephen King, this is like something. This is just par for the course.
But that idea of us stuck in a comet, that idea is kind of creative, because usually it's a multiverse or it's a time travel story. I've never come across a comet being I haven't had that before in all the science fiction I've watched. So I respect that. I was like, that was different.
And the name Rhea-M, or the Rhea M comet, if you read the Dark Tower series, there's a witch. Her name is Rhea of the Coup. And so, he tends to use a lot of the same names and in different stories. And he uses the number 19 a lot in his stories. But, it's just very Stephen King. So
the Dark Tower was before this?
Oh, yeah. He wrote The Gunslinger, years ago. Okay. But I'm not sure when he wrote the fourth novel where Rhea of the Coup is in it.
Okay.
But it's probably around there for it to be the same name.
Gotcha.
But so, okay, that's the first thing you see. Then the opening scene, you see, did you recognize him? That was Stephen King himself.
Oh, yes. At the ATM?
Yes. Going up to the ATM.
I noticed that. Yeah.
And before you see him, though, above the ATM, you see an electronic board that has FU.
Yeah.
It's flashing.
I did see that. And
Dominic was probably like, what am I watching? Like within the first 30 seconds, what does Nelson have me watching?
I was just, I had sticker shock all over my face for a majority of this film.
So anyway, so he walks up to it, he puts his card in, and it just says asshole. And he's like, honey, come here, sugar buns. This machine just called me an asshole. And then it repeats it over and over and over.
So 80s looking too. Like the font, his glasses, like it just, and I thought that was kind of, so him showing himself and doing that at the beginning kind of preps you for what you're in for.
I mean,
you know, like
he does cameos in most of his movies, but yeah. Anyway, and then right after that, the music starts. Yeah, and ACD they did the entire soundtrack. Like,
are you sure?
Everything. Yes, everything.
No, it's so blatantly
it
obvious.
Was awesome. Like without ACDC, I don't think the movie's half as good.
Right.
You know, so let me. I keep saying good, entertaining.
Yeah.
Like it gives it that little extra, you know, awesomeness for a bad 80s movie.
Well, because you got Who Made Who, you have Hell's Bells, which is kind of interesting.
It was written for the movie.
Yeah. Oh, it was specifically written for this? I didn't know that. We made you. You can't do this.
Don't give it away.
And then at the end, they play what's that real big one they have too? We Shook All Night Long.
Oh yeah. Shook Me All Night Long. I think what is it? The Hell's Bells is in here
Hell's
too.
Bells is when he's filling up the tanks. Yeah.
But like even the music, like just the regular what would normally be composed music is AC/DC.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, even all of it.
Wow.
Everything you hear.
Okay.
So here's the famous bridge scene.
Oh gosh.
So you have the bridge operators are playing cards, they're not paying attention. Then all of a sudden you start seeing the buttons press down on their own, whatever, and the drawbridge starts to go up.
And you know what? I got some, thanks to you, some Christine vibes in there.
Yes.
Because that came after, right?
Oh yeah. Well,
okay.
Yeah, Christine was like 84.
Okay, so this movie makes Christine look like even better than it is because Christine is more composed. Christine is more realistic. Like after watching this, I'm like, Christine could happen.
Christine makes a lot of sense.
Because it's more composed. It's like one vehicle, this one thing. This is like, but I could see his
But of
thinking.
course, I don't know. This might make more sense because you have the comet that caused it. Christine, they never say. True. They never say what happened. Now, if you read the novel, Christine is possessed by a spirit. They don't say that in the movie.
Well, this makes Christine a better movie.
Yeah. Oh, Christine is a much better movie.
But no, it reminds me of that. There's some of that flair. You can tell it's written and stuff by the same mind.
What I love about this scene is, okay, so it's going up really, really slow, but all the action scenes are filmed like the guy with the motorcycle falling, and
he looks
this
like he's on a ride. Like he just is like, wee.
But it's so obvious that Stephen King had never directed anything before because nothing like really happens at the same time. Everything you could tell they filmed completely separate.
Yeah, especially the motorcycle guy.
Each other.
Yeah. Okay.
So it seems like really, really slow motion, and it doesn't really like flow very well. It doesn't.
Yeah.
But it's still hilarious.
It is. It is.
The absurdity of some of the crashes and the people flying through the windshields and then flying off the bridge.
The one trucker, like his axle just like falls off.
It just comes off. It's so good.
Yeah,
it's so good. So yeah, it's just complete. The whole movie's just over the top, and this scene is just completely over the top.
It sets you up for what you're. It's almost like he's kind of in on what he's doing, though. You know, like even though he was out of his mind, it plays as kind of, especially with him at the beginning, like they know this is insane.
Absurd. It's absurd. Yeah. So then you got the older operator saying, "Can't you see we got a situation here?" Oh, it's so
that
funny.
too. Yeah. But by then it's over. It's too late. That bridge scene is something.
Yep.
On my drive over here, I looked at the 18-wheelers a different way.
You kept looking for a Happy Toys truck?
Dude, that would be I want that toy.
You know, okay, so we're jumping ahead. So the next scene is you see the Happy Toys truck.
Okay.
Right after all of that stuff, that carnage happens when it finally stops. You see the Happy Toys Goblin truck, okay, and it's driving, and he pulls into the Dixie Boy truck stop,
right,
where the majority of the movie takes place. But there's a guy who found the Goblin head, right, and it was like half destroyed. Well, he completely refurbished it. And he now has a Happy Toys truck, and he tours. Like, he goes to different conventions.
Way. Yeah, and it's actually the one from the movie.
It's the one from the movie.
You just found it in a junkyard or something.
I don't remember where. He has a website. You can.
That's
go on the
almost
website.
a Stephen King story there.
So you can go, kind of like how the guy that found the Jaws shark. What's his name? What was the Jaws? They named him.
Okay.
But same thing. Guy found
really cool.
the Jaws shark, and he refurbished it and brought it back to its glory. Well, a different guy did the same thing with the Goblin.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
And he goes around. No, if I find a 18-wheeler with the Goblin, like a toy.
Oh, I'm sure you can find it.
If I find one of those at the next comic store I go to, I'm freaking buying it.
Oh, yeah, it's on.
That's cool. Yeah.
And when we were kids, we would like ask to go to the store and rent the movie with the truck with the green face. Like, that's how we would describe it to my mom, because we couldn't remember Maximum Overdrive.
Yeah, that's a mouthful,
she would let us watch it. You understand?
Yes. I mean, yeah, there's the gratuitous violence in it, but a lot of it's in daylight. It wasn't scary to me, but I mean, I'm also watching it as a
40-year-old man.
Yeah, but it's not. It's just more like, I don't know, like, it's not scary, but it's just like you're like, what
am I watching?
This is insane.
Yep. Such a good movie. So so now they pull into the Dixie Boy truck stop, which was created just for the movie. I think like some of the buildings in the back, the storage type buildings that you see in the background, those were actually there, but the truck stop and all of that, I'm pretty sure was built just for the movie. Like, it wasn't a real truck stop.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. But so here you start getting introduced to your characters. You see Emilio Estevez, whose name is Bill in the movie, and Pat Hingle, Commissioner Gordon himself.
I was like, what?
His name is what's his name? I can never. It's kind of
in the movie.
His name is Hendershot, but he calls everybody Bubba, and his name is Bubba.
Stereotypical country guy.
What you doing, Bubba?
And that's funny, because we were just talking about that in the movies that made us. I mentioned Batman.
Yeah,
and that brought me right back. But this was a couple years before. It's 86.
86. Yeah. So he owns the Dixie Boy truck stop, and he employs mostly Emilio Estevez, but you find out that he employs mostly people who are on parole, and they're kind of in trouble, so he takes advantage of them, and he's in the middle of telling him he wants him to work 9 hours but only 8. Clock in for 8.
Yeah.
And he's like, now you're getting it, Bubba. So he's a shyster, right?
Yeah.
But he ends up coming in clutch a little bit later. So now you're getting introduced to them. And what's next here? Oh yeah, so now you see the things are starting to happen, right? Where your boy, Gina, what's his name? Giancarlo
Esposito.
Yes.
Yeah. That surprised me, and I was looking at him. I looked
like he looks familiar.
Yeah, and then it clicked in my brain.
I didn't realize till this viewing it was him.
No way.
I'm telling you, I was sitting there thinking that looks like Esposito.
Yeah.
Sure enough, it's him.
I was looking. I was like, but I have an eye for that. I don't always remember names, but faces. And I was like, because he's huge Breaking Bad, and then obviously Mandalorian. But to see him so young as a cameo before he was discovered, he got his calling in a truck stop, little arcade room.
And the machines are kind of starting to go a little haywire. Yeah. The cigarette machine spits out.
That's hilarious.
Cigarettes, so he starts
picking them up.
Yeah. And so then they cut away from him, and they go back to the waitress what's her name? Her name is I have it written down.
Oh here. Yeah, the blonde-headed lady.
Yeah. We made you.
Yeah, that's one of the best lines in the movie.
Chick, but she gets cut by the electric knife.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. The music starts.
Yeah, I know. And that was pretty gruesome, that cut.
Pretty gruesome, yeah. So, but one thing I want to say, you can tell that Stephen King doesn't know how to direct actors, because you had a lot of good actors in here who were either overacting or they just weren't delivering their lines very well.
Yeah.
It's
a lot
just,
of overacting.
It's just not, even Emilio. I mean, Emilio had been in a lot of stuff prior to this, but even his acting was like,
yeah,
geez.
this comes off like it's his first thing, because he's very much like, I mean, and I'm not an actor, so who knows if I could even do half as good as he did, but he comes off as like, they told him, be cool.
Yeah.
You are cool. And there's a difference between being cool and trying to be cool. He has that vibe, like all these looks he gives.
Yeah, he's trying to give these cool,
yeah.
But then like, so after she cuts her arm, he's like, hurry up, give me a rag. Like, it was just very overdone. I'm like, come on, Emilio, you're a good actor. What?
That was very over the top.
It just goes back to a director who has no idea what he's doing.
Yeah.
To say, just tone it down a little bit, or I don't know. And
I know, yeah.
And the dialogue isn't very well written, but it's written by King. But his dialogue in his books are usually good. Why? It just, things they translate different on screen, and
yeah,
the screenplay is kind of like,
well, and maybe that's why, like, when someone gets his stuff, like, this is great, but we need to tailor it a little bit to, screen.
So, yeah, so the electric knife, then it cuts back to Esposito, and like, so what happens? The arcade game kind of like
it's a Knight Rider pinball machine.
It starts to hypnotize him. Or something?
And then the blue electricity starts shooting,
and then and it shocks him or whatever the hell happened. But it doesn't matter because it's still awesome.
I wish he would have came back though at the end or something.
No, there's no zombies.
Yeah. But that was a good little cameo of his. I wonder what he thinks of it now that he's so successful, looking back on that.
So as you're watching this at this part, are you like, this movie's crazy? Is that?
I'm just like, what's going to happen next? Like, everything's out the door. I can't look away, and it's like, it's not a good movie, but it's not horrible either. It's just it's just something you have to see.
Of course. Absolutely.
It's one of those, like, you have to see this. The image, I know you're going to get to it later, but the image of the truck circling the truck stop, that's a great,
it's really cool. Yeah.
It's really cool. And like, if there was something familiar about it, like, I'm like, it just pulled me in. I'm like, I'm supposed to be seeing this. I love that scene of them just circling, and you got the big truck. And
so then we also had the diesel flies in Duncan's eyes. Like he's got
oh my gosh. I was like, what are you doing? I was watching it. I was like, don't tell me
what's going to happen?
It's getting worse because he's looking at it and then he starts to, I'm like, why are you doing that? It's like the kid that looks in the water hose.
Right.
But obviously I was like, stop. I was like yelling at the screen. I'm like, why are you doing it? And then
all in his face. And he just lays on the ground. Yeah.
Yeah. That
once again, kind of not very well done, but
yeah.
Anyway.
That.
Yeah. So all this chaos is happening. Then it cuts away to a happy scene of kids playing baseball.
Oh yeah.
All right. Kids knock the ball game, whatever. Coach is all happy. Soda's on me. And then he goes to the soda machine. He puts his money in, presses the button. Oh, and the kids start laughing at him at first. He gets hit right in the balls from a soda machine spitting a soda. It hits him right in the sack. So he goes, oh, the kids start laughing. And then what's so funny is you see the tubes inside the machine that's spitting out.
Yeah, that was weird.
Whatever it is. And then it hits him in the head.
That's it.
And so at this point, the kid's like, Coach, are you okay? And then just start shooting.
I love that it's fast.
With it. Yeah.
I like that they're not just rolling out. I love that it's shooting them. That might be my favorite one. Like our favorite kill, because just the image of them. Maybe he's trying to tell you caffeine will kill you. I thought of that. Like, what?
But look, Stephen King is not afraid to kill children.
Dude, but that kid is smart. He puts
that
the catcher's mask.
Duncan's son, his name is Deke.
That kid
you don't know he's Duncan's son at this point.
Yeah.
But it starts just hitting the kids, and next thing you know, they got kids' bodies all over the place. He checks on the coach. He sees the big.
That is a bad, like
the big hole in his head from the coke hitting him in the
just
head.
like meat, like just whole, like that's a bad one.
So Deke gets up. He starts to run away. Then comes out the steamroller.
That. Okay, that's horrible, but it's kind of funny the way they do it.
And you see him run over the kid.
Yeah,
it's like it's a very good dummy stunt.
It's really quick. But that was a crazy one.
Like,
I was
like, why was there a steamroller right next to
a baseball
park?
Yeah, I don't know.
Doesn't matter. It's maximum overdrive. That's all that matters.
Oh gosh, yeah, that was a crazy one.
That's probably one of the best scenes in the movie. Like,
yeah,
really,
I like the Coke machine one. That one is creative.
Probably the first 30 minutes of the movie is the best.
Mm-hmm.
The last hour, it's okay, but this first 30 minutes when you get introduced to everybody,
all these rapid fire things.
Right? It's kind of like when the apocalypse first happens in a zombie movie. That's always chaos.
Yeah, right in the beginning.
Yeah, that's kind of what's going on here, and it's by far the most entertaining.
Right.
So after the steamroller and Deke gets away, you cut to the Bible salesman.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, I don't know if they actually say his name, but he's the Bible salesman, old pervert, driving his brand new car. What's up, sugar buns, or whatever it is he's calling her. He keeps touching her. Her name is Brett. Keeps touching Brett's leg. He's giving her a ride. And,
right, she's totally creeped out by him.
Right, because he's a creepazoid.
Mm-hmm.
And she notices that the radio can't catch anything on the radio, and so now the machines are taking over the radio stations or whatever, or I guess maybe the people operating the radio stations are dead from.
Yeah, it's weird because some of the stuff happens quick and some of it happens slow, and like
So they end up at the Dixie Boy truck stop.
Mm-hmm.
Stop to get something to eat and see what's going on. I think she's to make a phone call. I think she says.
I think she needs to, something like that.
Get there, and then inside, this is where you see the Happy Toys truck. It tries to run her over.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so the truck starts, and because the Bible salesman is like fussing at her, like he's mad at her because she got out the car. Like, don't you run away from me. It's like, dude, you're just giving her a ride. Like, who are you to tell her what she can and can't do? It's not like, anyway. So another thing that doesn't make sense, but
right.
So he's fussing. His back is to the Happy Toys truck, and the truck starts by itself, tries to run them over. They move out the way, but then it stops, and they're like, "Is it?" And it's the black guy. They're like, "Isn't that your truck?" And he's like, "Yeah, but whoever's driving it must be a hot wire champion," and he's got his keys right here. So they're like, "Okay, how did the truck move?"
Yeah, that was weird. That was weird. But just the way they're going about it, it's just they're dumbfounded.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like
I mean, a truck just moved by itself, right? So Emilio goes and checks it out and doesn't see anything inside.
Mm-hmm.
And they're kind of like dumbfounded or whatever. And then it goes to the next scene. Like everything is just happening so fast.
It's quick.
So the next scene is the newlyweds.
Oh, okay.
And that is, her name is Yeardley Smith. That's Lisa Simpson.
And she's the one that does the voice. Okay.
She does Lisa Simpson. And she's just got married to Curtis. So it's Curtis and what's Yeardley Smith's name in the movie? Let's see, go to my notes here. Her name is Connie. It's Connie and Curtis.
Okay.
And he's like, well, we need some gas. And she said, I got to pay. So whatever. So they stop at the gas station. But when they get out, it's kind of quiet. And then Curtis looks and he sees just a hand, or is it the leg of a body? I can't remember, but he sees someone on the ground.
Yeah. And he goes to see what's going on.
So he goes to investigate it, and she's like, Curtis, is he dead? Yeah.
All the accents and the confidence.
Do they say where they are? Or what state they're supposed to be in? I don't think they actually say.
I don't think they do, but like it feels like a southern, obviously, right? In the middle of the South somewhere.
Or maybe even like the Carolina, like South Carolina or something where people say is the South, which really not the South.
Yeah, because it's so far.
Yeah, I mean, we're in South Louisiana. We're 30 miles from the Gulf of America. So, this is the South. But anyway.
We're in the South.
So he goes to investigate. And she screams, right? Doesn't she just scream or something when he tells her? I don't remember. She screams when the truck comes around. That's what it is.
I think when she sees the
truck comes around and they're like, what's going on? And then it's a tow truck. And the tow truck tries to run him over. She screams, blah, blah.
And I didn't think he was going to make it.
Oh, yeah? You thought he was going to die?
I thought, well, because up until then, it's showing a whole bunch of people like just getting wiped out. And I was surprised because he's also kind of
nerdy.
Yeah, I'm like, they're both kind of off, so I didn't know if they were just cannon fodder, but they ended up making it through. Yeah. So,
and I guess it's because it's the 80s. That tow truck, that's like an old truck. Looks like it's from but then it was. And it was probably only 5 or 6 years old, but I don't know, just the look of it is like just an old style
classic
tow truck. Yeah. It's really cool.
I mean, a lot of the vehicles in here, it's cool because like if you tried to remake it now and make it a period piece, it'd be so difficult. But then that was all what you used.
And surprisingly, a lot of the stunt work was not too bad. Some of it's like, but a lot of the stunt work was pretty good. I mean, you think of the amount of stunt drivers they had to have and the vehicles that they destroyed in this movie.
That's probably where a lot of the money went because it's not in a big metropolitan area. So that probably kept the cost down because it's in the middle of nowhere. There's not that many actors in it, but I bet a lot of the money went to all the trucks and all the explosions.
There's a ton.
Yeah.
And the drivers and everything else. So, okay, page 2. All right. Oh, did I miss something? What did I miss here? Oh, anyway, so they get back. Oh, you know what? I did miss something.
What'd you miss?
At some point, I missed Duncan gets hit by the truck. Yeah, so where did that happen? Yeah, I missed that. So apparently around this time, Duncan gets hit by the truck. Remember, he couldn't see. He's like, I got to go get my boy. He was still blinded from the gasoline. And maybe it's after the Happy Toys truck tried to run over the girl. It backed up and it hit Duncan or something like that.
Okay, maybe it was around that time.
It was around that time.
Yeah.
So
it was the first watch.
I guess I didn't take good enough notes. But yeah, Duncan got hit. So after the newlywed scene, they drive away from the tow truck trying to kill him, drive away, and then it cuts right back. And that's where Pat Hingle and them are removing Duncan's body. And he says, put him downstairs. And nobody's like, okay, so what's downstairs? And you're going to find out later what downstairs is. Yeah.
Reminds me a little bit of what they had in Dusk Till Dawn at the end. What they have in that little bunker, all the stuff. But so what do we got next?
Well, next is we're back to Deke.
Okay.
This is a cool scene because you got the AC/DC music that's going dun dun dun. He's riding his bicycle through the neighborhood.
Oh, this is when he sees all the carnage. So
first it's the sprinklers come on as he passes, but when he stops and he turns around, the sprinklers turn off.
That was kind of cool.
Yeah. He starts seeing you see the dog.
Okay, with the
car in his mouth. You see the guy. There's a guy in a porch swing. He had headphones on, so apparently the music got too loud and like.
Yeah, that was a weird one. Yeah.
I guess it supposedly, I don't know, it killed him somehow.
Yeah, because you don't really know, you don't know what happened.
He's just like this.
Yeah.
And there's blood coming out of his ears. Then you see the girl hanging out the bedroom window.
Okay.
It's a cord with a hairdryer around her neck, so the hairdryer strangled her.
That
I don't know how, but the hairdryer strangled her.
That would be an interesting side story. You're right, because there's all these little nuggets.
Yep.
And then you got the bloody lawnmower.
Right before that, he hides from the ice cream truck.
Which is so creepy.
I know.
Music with no one driving it.
It's almost like Sweet Tooth from Twisted Metal.
Yeah.
So it's got blood all over it. And it makes the corner doesn't see him because he's hiding behind the bushes. Well, right when he gets out, the lawnmower starts itself and chases him. And then he hauls ass out of there.
No, that was an interesting. It kind of even reminded me of maybe a little bit of M. Night Shyamalan,
what was that movie?
The Happening.
Yeah.
I thought of that with just that scene where he's going through the neighborhood, seeing all these little side things.
So here it is. Okay, I got it right here. Duncan wants to go find Deke, which is the next scene. And he says no, and then Duncan gets... So who got run over? I don't remember who got run over. They were putting the body downstairs. I thought it was Duncan. So did somebody else get hit?
I'm trying to remember. I was just so sticker shocked with everything happening at once.
Yeah. So forgive me. I got something wrong somewhere. But so yeah, this is where Duncan is like, I got to go find my boy. And they're like, how many fingers am I holding up? And he can't tell him.
Oh, yeah.
And that's whenever he's like, I'm going anyway. And this is when he gets run over by the truck. And what's so funny is it's like, jump out the way. Like, just jump.
Yeah.
But he doesn't. He just goes, ah. So, you know, it's a cool effect, you know, of getting hit by the truck. But it's like, like
you
jump.
Get out of the way. Yeah.
Like in Prometheus, everybody was like, how come Charlize Theron just doesn't like run to the side? She just runs this way and get.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing. Like, just like
exactly.
Jump out of the way. What are you doing?
It's like a deer in headlights thing.
So, anyway, there goes Duncan. Duncan's gone. But I still at this point don't think that they say that Deke is his son. I don't think it's actually said. I know it because
I didn't realize it till the kid was looking.
Was saying, did my dad make it?
Right.
But they weren't. At this point, you don't realize that Deke is his son and he's trying to get back to the truck stop.
Right. You don't realize that then.
Yeah.
It's not till the kid's freaking out and then they all kind of look at each other because they know, but they don't want to tell them. Yeah.
So then next you have the Bible salesman gets mad that his truck, his car got hit. That's what it was. So the Duncan,
it's destroying his car.
Yeah, well, Duncan gets hit, but then the Bible salesman gets mad because the truck hits his car comes out, and then he gets hit. And it's like he does the same thing. He runs away in the path of the truck who's going backwards. That
one was more. I was more like, dude, move
out the way.
Yeah,
it's going in reverse.
I feel like it was longer. Like he stood there longer and went in the way longer.
And gets hit out of his shoes.
Oh, I didn't catch it. He flew out of his shoes.
You didn't catch that?
No, I didn't catch it.
They focus on the shoes. Like he gets hit out of his shoes.
Gotcha. I must have missed that little snippet, but that death was like, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, like what's going on?
Yeah.
So this is where they start patrolling, where the Happy Toys truck, at this point, you start to realize is going to become the leader.
Right.
And I don't know if you noticed, but whenever the truck would start up, you'd see the eyes would glow red.
Red. Yeah, I thought that was a nice touch.
And the way they did that effect was they just had a red light they would turn on off camera that would shine on it. So it would look like, it looked like the eyes would turn red, but they were just shining a red light.
Well, that's simple.
Yeah, very simple.
Yeah.
And now if you go back and watch it again, you can tell. Okay. Some scenes you can tell it's just a light reflecting off of it.
Okay, well yeah.
So yeah, now they start patrolling around the truck stop and the people.
It's a cool image of them. And then I was having this thought, like, why don't they just knock it off? Like, what stopped? But then I realized they need the fuel depot. So they know that.
They're going to need the fuel.
So that's why they're circling it like sharks. So but
they're not attacking them. And then you realize later it's because they need them.
Right.
Yeah.
See, so like that part of it that's very smart. But then it's surrounded by all this wackiness.
It's surrounded by ridiculousness.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're back to the newlyweds in their car, and they're just driving because they don't know what to do now.
Right.
They still need gas. And they see a convoy of trucks going the opposite direction, and they're like, what's going on there? And then one of the trucks like turns off this truck with a long trailer and starts chasing them.
Yeah, that's how they get him back involved. Yeah.
Cool little chase scene.
And just the idea, like they're newlyweds just out in the...
And all of a sudden there's a truck apocalypse.
I know. Yeah. Like what are the... Gosh, like, can you imagine that? Like...
And she's like, and that car is slow because this truck they can't outrun the truck. So I don't know what kind of car that was. But anyway, you have a good little chase scene, and then the truck like flips and whatever, and then explodes. So all that good little stunt work.
Right.
And of course they stop, and then they see the big Dixie boy truck stop sign. So like, okay, that's where we're going to go.
Right. And is that when does their car flip at that point, or is that later? I'm trying to remember.
No, that's later. That's
okay,
later.
that's
Whenever
later.
they're trying to get to the truck stop.
Okay.
So next they go back. You're back at the truck stop, and they try to get in. Right. This is where it is. Let's see. Yep.
Okay.
They get back to the truck stop, and their car flips. So he's like, oh, we're gonna go in this little space, and he tries to make it, hits and gets flipped. Well, they go, Bill and the girl and Brett help get the newlyweds
he gets out
out
on his own, and then they help him get the girl out.
And then this is where you realize that Bubba Hendershot has a stash of weaponry, because he comes out with a rocket launcher, and blows up with 2 trucks. I think he hits 2 of them. Yeah. He hits one, and he's like, load me up, and they put another one in there, and he blows up another one. So now you're like, okay, he's a useful idiot, because he obviously has some weaponry in downstairs, which you're going to see a little bit later on. And it wouldn't be a Stephen King story if you didn't have a crazy person with lots of weapons. Yeah. You know, that's the kind of stuff he does. You always have one of those characters that surprises you.
Yeah. It's like the one that shouldn't have all the bells and whistles done.
And of course, Brett and Bill are starting to develop this little relationship where they, they like each other, and it's so badly written, but you know,
she falls for him almost instantly. And her acting is like, it's so bad. But they have this, their little scene or whatever. It's like, what? How are you having a romantic anything? Yeah, they're like, when people are dying and you're blowing up trucks with rocket launchers. Where? But is it just like they have a mattress on the floor or something?
I don't know, man.
Because they're like cuddling up and stuff.
Yeah. So Deke is slow. They of course they go back to Deke, and he's slowly trying to make his way. Now at this point, you're realizing that he's trying to get to the truck stop, because I think he sees the sign. Yeah. Okay, so he's going to the truck stop, but if you've never seen the movie, you don't really know why. But he's trying to get home. And then the next scene, the big fat dude that works for Hendershot, Joey, is on the toilet taking a dump.
Oh yeah.
You hear all the and all that. It's like, thanks, Stephen King. Like,
you know what's funny? I
need to hear
when I got to that part, I had the subtitles on too, just because, and it said like
toilet knows it.
Flatulence.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does on Amazon.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
flatulence. So Joey's in the middle of taking a dump and just letting loose, apparently, and having a conversation, and
as if nothing's going on outside.
And he finally tells Bill. Bill's like, what does he have down there? And he's like, everything. Okay. He's got everything. Now leave me alone.
He had to look over the stall.
Yeah. Like, give the dude some privacy, man. So
that's what I meant. Like Dusk Till Dawn, like how they had that room at the end with all the stuff in it. Yeah.
So they go and they find the room, and they see all the weapons. The body's in there.
Still in there. Yeah.
And of course, Hendershot goes on there and he's like, what you trying to do down here, Bubba? All that stuff. And he's like, I don't know. The acting is so bad.
He's like, basically, when this is over, you're.
And he, Bill grabs the weapon. Well, I'm in charge. I don't remember what he said, but it's just really bad. It's really bad stuff. But it's
like no one's on the same page.
Yeah,
like some people think it's the end of the world. Other people are like taking their time in the bathroom. Yeah,
because he's like, when we're finished with this, and
like he's gonna teach
Bill's
them
like,
something.
What are you talking about? Like everything has gone to crap. Like.
There may not be a
the world is ending, and you're worried about what you're gonna do to me after this. It's just whatever. So Hendershot starts walking up the stairs and yelling at Joey. Damn it, Joe! Didn't I tell you to hold on to them keys? I love the accent.
Yeah, that is great.
So next is you see her name is Wanda, the waitress.
Oh, yeah.
This is the famous, we made you, the first time she says it. She goes out, starts yelling, we made you. You can't do this. And it's like, what? What are you talking? So she's just going crazy.
She can't handle it. And the second time is the really bad time, but that time she makes it out and she goes back in.
And so they turn off the lights and they start honking to try to scare him. And I guess this is where you're starting to realize that the machines are keeping them alive for a reason.
Right.
Because it's like, oh, still, why are they not killing them?
That's what I was wondering at first. I'm like, why aren't they just like mowing them down?
Right. And then you can hear the Bible salesman, help me.
Oh,
You don't realize that he's still alive at this point.
Okay.
So now they're like, okay, he's out there. He's still alive. So now Bill.
Oh, that's when they go out there to try to save him.
Yes, they're
because he's in the creek.
Because he's in the ditch.
That's okay.
When he got knocked out of his shoes, he was in the ditch.
That's
Help me! He sounded like a monster or something.
Yeah, and they go to save him, but they end up saving the kid.
Right. They go out. They go out there, and they end up finding Deke, and because he grabbed Deke, he's like but then he dies.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, all that stuff happens.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
You're good.
Put your phone on silent. So this is where you start to see other trucks are starting to come and show up. And now we're getting to the refueling part.
Yeah.
So they show up. Bill and Curtis rescue him through the sewer and all that.
But that's all at night, and then it's
happening at night. All that. So they get the boy through and they're fine. The next morning, see, it says Bill and Curtis, they find Deke, they get him back and tell him about his dad Duncan. That's right. So they tell. That's when you kind of you feel, or that's when you do realize that Deke is Duncan's son. And he's a tough little boy, smart.
Dude,
make it back
from the first, from the baseball field. That dude's smart. But Stephen King does that some, like he has kids that are a little bit ahead of the curve of what's going on.
Bill uses a rocket launcher at some point. I got that written down. I guess
And then what about the Morse code?
Okay, so that's where we are next. So the next morning, everything seems kind of okay. People are just starting to wake up. And then here comes the bulldozer and the army Jeep, which is some kind of little flat.
It's like a platform
vehicle. I don't know. And they just mounted an M60 machine gun on it.
Yeah.
It's not a real Jeep. It's not a real military vehicle, but I guess the budget didn't allow for a real military vehicle. So they kind of made one.
It seems like it should be mounted on like a Hummer or something.
Right.
Yeah.
So Stephen King went to the prop department. Hey, make me something that looks like a army Jeep. And they spray painted it green, and then that's what you got.
But it looks it's creepy though.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Like it's a different feel with it being on that rinky dink thing.
Well, it's just supposed to give you the shock value of
and then
a machine gun
when it turns and stuff. Like that was
like, how would it turn on its own? But anyway,
well, it's almost like that's the face of the
it's looking. So it shows up. Hendershot shoots the bulldozer with a rocket launcher, and then the M60 just starts like it kills Hendershot, and it kills like 3 other extras.
It kills a bunch of them, and that's when you see him getting shot. Like
shoots them all, and you're like, oh snap! Now it's really getting.
That reminded me of like RoboCop, like some of those kills.
The squids and all that. But it's like duck. Because the machine gun can't do this,
and they know what's going on.
It's just going left and right.
Yeah,
so like, just like duck. But hey, Stephen King needs to show some carnage. He needs to show some people getting shot with an M60.
Yeah, no kidding.
So that's what you see.
And then they're hearing the horn going up and down.
Well, no, that's not yet.
Okay.
So the machine gun does its thing, and after it does all of that, Wanda gets up and starts saying, "We made you again." And she picks up the rocket launcher, but then she gets shot with the machine gun.
Dude, bad too.
So it's like, what are you doing? But she had lost her mind, I guess.
Yeah, she was going stir crazy in that place, and she just yelling at like they're gonna be like, "You're right.
Oh, you're right. You made us, so we're gonna stop." So anyway, after that is when the Jeep backs up and starts doing the Morse code.
That was that was pretty clever. Like,
yeah.
And the kid figures it out, and he starts jotting down what it's saying. And basically, what they want is it they'll if they they'll keep them alive if they fuel them up.
Yeah, I think that's what it said. It said must refuel, if refuel, don't die, or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And then that's when Emilio Estevez says he's like so excited like that they bought some time. What did he say? He's like, they better have he goes, I'm gonna turn the pumps on.
They better have their credit cards. Yeah. So they go out there and they start refueling the vehicles.
And that's when they play Hell's Bells.
And all you see, all the trucks are lined up.
That is something, man.
Yeah.
Like how many extra trucks were in that scene?
They're getting heat exhaustion
Yeah.
Because it's so hot outside.
He's
And
getting blisters on
my
his
thing
hand.
is, how come these people are like, okay, I got it from here. They're taking their place, but it's like, you waited 6 hours? Like, anyway. So then they run out of fuel and you see this other truck starts pushing me. He's like, why?
That was, like,
It was a refueling.
because he's like, I can't do anything. We're out of gas. And then he just starts like pushing him with the heck of a little, I thought that was cool. And then obviously he points him in the direction of the gas.
It's a tanker truck. To refuel the gas station or whatever. So then he starts doing that. The driver of the Happy Toys truck, he
helps him.
What's his name? He's in other stuff.
He looked very familiar, but I couldn't peg.
His name is Frankie Faison, and his name is Handy in the movie.
Because it's handy,
I guess. But he's in Coming to America. He's the landlord.
He looked familiar.
It's a real crap hole. You're gonna love it.
Gotcha.
But he's in other stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, so he helps. He gets Emilio out of there, and Emilio, they put a little towel on his head, and like 5 minutes later, he's good to go again. But anyway,
he just needed a little recharge.
Yeah, he got exhausted. They're refilling the trucks anyway. So he comes out, and then this is where, like, all of a sudden, I guess they came up with a plan that quick of what they were gonna do, and they start to initiate this plan. And the first thing is, got to get rid of the Jeep. With the machine gun.
Oh, that's when he,
yeah. So he's talking to the guy and like, when I say run, you run. Okay, just run. He's like, what? Just when I say run, just run. And he's like, he pulls the pin. He's like, run, and turns the machine gun and starts spinning and shooting. And then boom, there goes the armored machine gun. Because he was afraid that it could call more military vehicles. That's what he said.
Okay.
That is why he agreed to do the refuel. And they're like, why are you going to refuel him? He said, well, because that guy will call some airplanes and they'll drop napalm on us.
That's right.
That was the reason.
But again, like, he goes up to it and just hits it to spin it out of control. Like, if you can do that, couldn't you just grab it?
Yeah, just grab the machine gun and turn it around.
Yeah.
And just start shooting the trucks or something. Wow.
But I mean,
Stop making sense of this movie.
At least they started doing something.
Yeah, they started their plan. Now, what's interesting, though, is right after they did that, you would think that the trucks would just attack them. But the trucks don't. They continue to circle.
Right.
And here's where they decide they're going to go through the sewer. So they drop the grenade, blow up the Jeep, and then all of a sudden it's like dark.
Yeah.
And they start going through the sewer, the same sewer that they used to
the kid was
get Deke back into the building. And they're going to go to the marina, right? He has this idea of going to the marina so they can sail out.
And sail out, yeah.
So they start doing all that, and let's see. Here we go. So they make it out. And the second they get out, that's when
they get mad.
The trucks get mad and they just destroy everything.
Big mad, as the kids say.
You see cool scenes of the dump truck lifts its what do you
the top
call
of the gas station?
Yeah, well, what do you call that in a dump truck? I get the
bulldozer.
No, the dump truck lifts its gate, or where where it holds everything.
Yeah,
and it just drives through and uses that to pull down.
Knock it down. Yeah,
to pull
that
down.
Was pretty creative.
Yeah. Then you see the bulldozer running over a car like 3 times. Which, why did it do that?
There's
kept nobody in it. I guess Stephen King thought it looked cool.
I think that's what it was. He's like, do it again.
just keep running over. We're gonna get,
it's Hollywood.
We'll fix it in post.
Yeah, because it goes back over it like a few times.
There's nobody in it. Why is it doing that? So they destroy it and everything blows up. So they're running down the street basically, and right when they get to the marina, here comes the ice cream truck.
Yeah.
And the girl and Curtis both shoot the ice cream truck, and it flips and blows up. So the ice cream truck doesn't get to do anything. You think that it would at least kill somebody.
It should have got a little scene at the end.
I mean, it had some confirmed kills because it had blood on it, but I guess it was off screen. You didn't see it. It'd have been nice to see the ice cream truck run over somebody, but it doesn't. They blow up the ice cream truck. So they're like, yeah. They get to the diner, and the drive-through at the diner says, humans here, humans here.
And then he shoots it and says, that's for my dad.
Deke shoots it. This is for my dad.
Yeah.
Blows it up. But then he doesn't want the gun anymore. So he gives them, like, well, okay, whatever.
That's kind of cool. The kid got a moment of honoring
he handled the weapon well too.
Yeah, that kid was awesome.
So they're about to get on the boat.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see Brad is the guy's name. He sees this dead woman hanging out the car.
With a diamond like this big.
This big. Yeah. So his greed, he runs over there and pulls the diamond off of her finger. And lo and behold.
And he's just staring at it for like 10 or 15 seconds. You run off, dude.
Like, dude, y'all are getting chased.
Yeah.
Well, here comes Happy Toys, Goblin Face.
But I mean, that was cool that he got his comeuppance because it's, you know, saying he's being greedy, like you said. And that
it's one of the 7 sins, man, the 7 deadly sins, and it got him.
And that truck got a nice final kill.
Yep. Another dun dun dun.
Yeah.
And another one that just goes instead of jumping out the way.
Yeah, his was a slow one too. You're right.
But the effect is good. You see the dummy that gets hit and the blood splatters.
They show it. Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Uh-huh.
Let's see. Oh, and then Bill blows it up with a rocket launcher. He blows up the goblin with a rocket launcher. And they make it onto the boat.
Uh-huh.
And then the Who Made Who starts again, right? The Who Made Who song starts.
The song, yeah. But then like the boat, like, doesn't that have some machinery to it? How was that not?
It's a sailboat.
Yeah, I guess.
But most sailboats have like an engine, don't they?
Something.
I would imagine in case there's no wind.
Yeah. So.
Doesn't matter.
I was thinking that. I was like, how are they going to, you know, I don't know. But I guess they needed some kind of a vehicle. And at least on the ocean, it's more remote, you know, on the water than it, you know, I don't know.
And yeah, so you got the end credits start. But right before the end credits, it says 2 days after a UFO was destroyed by a Russian weather satellite, which happened to be equipped with a laser cannon and class 4 nuclear missiles.
Now, I gave him credit at the beginning saying it's a comet, but like
what's the UFO thing? I guess the UFO.
But it's just like rattled off. Like he wrote it real quick. Like,
but I don't know what the UFO thing is like
what that had to do with it.
Yeah. So was it? It wasn't UFO because it also says after the we come out of the comet, everything like goes back to normal, whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess he just thought it would be funny to say that.
I thought that was weird too, because if it's just a thing happening because of the pull of the comet, it's affecting the machines. And when you say UFO, that makes it seem like it was alien strategic attack.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It just comes off like, you know, like a kid like is, you know, it's due in 15 minutes. Oh, just a UFO did it.
It kind of comes off as if someone was doing some kind of mind-altering substance and they just do things.
Yeah.
That's what it comes off. Like he was high on cocaine. He was. So I think this might be based off of a short story called Trucks or something that he wrote.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it is based off something that he wrote, and then he just writes it for the screen and comes up with.
Well, maybe that's where some of the stuff that made sense, like the Morse code thing, was smart. Maybe some of the stuff that made sense came from the short story,
and all the crazy stuff came from the drugs.
Yeah,
I don't know. So overall, what did you think?
Like I said, it's not a great movie, but it holds a place in cinematic history. It's like something you have to see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like,
it's kind of like a train wreck. You can't help but watch. Like you can't take your eyes off.
But it has good moments in it.
Yes.
But it's as a whole, it's is what it is. I don't know. It's hard to. It's like I'm glad it exists, but it's not good. How's that?
So here's the real question: will you ever watch it again?
I'd watch it again.
You would?
I would. I'd watch it again. And if I find that toy at a comic store, I'm buying it.
Oh yeah. I already went and look at there's like t-shirts I'm gonna buy.
Yeah.
At least one t-shirt I want to get. But yes, it would be nice to have.
That'd be cool.
A Happy Toys.
Yeah.
18-wheeler right here or something.
That was very memorable.
And you could see how, as a kid watching this, how it would be like awesome.
Oh
like,
yeah, because you're not focusing on the continuity and the scene by scene. You're just looking at the trucks and the kills and oh my gosh,
the explosions.
Yeah, You're focusing more on the action, which it has a lot of.
Mm-hmm. No, I love this movie. It's that's why it was on the movies that made us.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it so many times, but I want to watch it again because when I watched it the other day or yesterday, I was just like taking notes more than anything, because I wanted to be able to go through this scene by scene. But I do want to watch it again and just kind of enjoy, because it's probably been about 2 years since I've like just sat down and put it on in the average home theater and just watched it.
Yeah, there you go. And then plus, if you can layer some nostalgia on top of it, it brings you back. I can see even more why it's holds a place for you. But I know it was interesting. It wasn't boring. It kept me engaged. So yeah, I mean, I know this might sound blasphemous to you, but I think it'd be interesting if someone remade it with today's, because then you could have the cell phones in it. You could do more with the technology. You could have cell phones exploding.
It wouldn't be bad.
Yeah.
But I don't know how good it would be. I think what makes this movie good is how bad it is.
Yeah. If you take it too seriously, it might ruin some of the lesser. Yeah. But I'm saying that one could be like, I don't know. It'd be interesting.
I'd watch it.
Yeah.
But I'm not dying for it.
Right. But it wouldn't be blasphemous.
I'd be perfectly fine with putting this in the, what do they call the, where they put the movies in the Library of Congress or whatever.
Oh,
what do they call that?
I'm thinking Criterion Collection, but you're thinking,
no.
I know what you mean. It's like so many movies a year get put into. Yeah,
I say Maximum Overdrive deserves to be in there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm glad it exists, but I'm glad it exists. You could make side stories off of what happened in that neighborhood. I want to see that side story.
Oh yeah.
Because like the car in the mouth of the dog and the strangled.
There are several film. You know how people do filming location videos?
Oh yeah.
Several people have done Maximum Overdrive, like pretty much
like that neighborhood.
The area where the Dixie Boy truck stop is. Those, like I said, those storage buildings are still there. Now it's a fire training facility, like for firemen and stuff like that. That's what's actually on that property now.
I gotcha.
The neighborhood still there. All those houses are still there.
Oh, wow.
So the gas station where the newlywed couple stopped, that is still there. It's like a little restaurant now.
I wonder where that is though.
I can't remember. You can pull it up on YouTube. There's several people that have done filming locations on it, and they tell you where it was filmed. I want to say it was filmed in the Carolinas. That's why that sticks out. Okay.
I mean, I know it'd be kind of hard, especially since the goblin the guy found, but if they would have been able to keep a lot of these props, like that'd be something cool to, because there's so many different kind of vehicles in the movie. But yeah, it was something. It was something.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I love surprising him. Like from Dusk Till Dawn.
That one was a big surprise.
From Dusk Till Dawn, you had no idea what was going on.
That was a big one too.
And when the vampires started attacking, you were like, what am I watching?
Yes, there was a through line in that though. It was well done.
Yeah.
I just couldn't get over that guitar with the body parts. That was bad. That was too much. But no, this didn't disappoint. It was interesting. I'm glad I witnessed it. I'm glad I know it exists.
Good. Well, we'll think of something else and we'll have a good time again.
Something interesting. And again, it makes me want to watch Christine again, because Christine is like, you
need to own Christine.
I do. But Christine is like, could happen. Yeah. After watching this, Christine, it could be true.
And you could get Christine on 4K pretty cheap, like $15, $17 on Amazon.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I bought Silver Bullet. Like I had shown you that. But no, it makes me want to watch Christine again.
This actually just got a Blu-ray release like 2 years ago. I have it. I had the DVD for years. I'd been having the DVD for years, and it never got a Blu-ray release until like 2 years ago.
Oh, wow. That's late.
I picked it up. Yep.
Is there any bonus on it? Any bonus features?
I don't know, but probably so.
That would be cool to see. Like Stephen King.
That might be what we do after we wrap this up.
Yeah, cool. Sounds good.
All right, man. Well, like, subscribe, tell your friends, and we will catch you on Dominic's next adventure.
Yep. Watch out for the 18-wheelers.
Adios.